Tonight on News 10, 10 people arrested in Albany's deadly weekend shooting. Why police are focusing their investigation on what they call an illegal nightclub.
Also, a local sign on.
And is it lights out for Lights on the Park? Why the popular holiday events last year in Washington Park is now at risk of being canceled altogether. Your local news starts right now.
And good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Trishna Began.
And I'm Tim Lake. We have continuing coverage now tonight on that deadly weekend shooting at The Lounge on North Lake Avenue in Albany.
One person was killed and 6 others hurt. And tonight, News 10 has learned that 10 people were arrested in connection with that incident.
And News 10 ABC's Jamie DeLine says police are shutting down the club that was operating without city permits.
Tonight, News 10 ABC.
New at 11 tonight, the Canadian border will soon be reopening for fully vaccinated travelers coming in by land from Canada and Mexico. Biden administration making that decision tonight to reopen all border crossings by early November. Now, Canadians have been able to fly here to the U.S. during the pandemic, and vaccinated Americans have been able to make land crossings since August. Governor Hochul praising the decision tonight, saying she's now excited to welcome tourists back to New York State. And Senator Schumer saying the link will finally be reestablished, reuniting families and bolstering business. Canadian travel will help boost the North Country and Western New York State economies.
Albany police say threatening injuries.
And New York State police are investigating the death of a 4-month-old baby girl at her home in New Lebanon in Columbia County. The baby's father, Robert Bivens Jr., right here telling News 10 he had placed the baby, named Cassandra, in her bassinet next to his bed at about 3 o'clock Monday morning. He said when he woke up just a few hours later, the baby was not breathing.
Spending time finding her like that.
Now, the father of 10 says some of his kids recently came home sick from school, but he wasn't sure if the illness was COVID-related or what may have happened to the baby. Bivens and state police are now waiting on the cause of death from the medical examiner.
Well, after a call 911.
And conflict is emerging now in the Cohoes Fire Department between the chief and members of the union when it comes to staffing and keeping their community safe. Now, in his $24 million proposal, Mayor Bill Keeler is budgeting for expanding and fully staffing first responder positions like firefighters and paramedics. The fire chief believes it's adequate for safety in Cohoes, but the firefighters union, realizing how understaffed they were during the pandemic, is seeing more emergency calls now, and they want more staff.
Our staff, we won't have somebody to go on that fourth call.
And the Cohoes Council has until November 15th now to approve the final budgets. Also, Albany County taxpayers are getting their first look at the new $753 million county budget tonight, which conforms to the state-mandated tax cap for the 9th year in a row. County Executive Dan McCoy saying a priority for the county this year is to recognize the county employees and keep them from jumping ship for a better gig, meaning better pay, medical, dental, and vision plans. Well, in the race to vaccinate tonight, a federal judge in Utica granting a preliminary injunction to people who objected to New York State's healthcare worker vaccine mandate. Last month, a group of Christian medical professionals filed a complaint calling for a religious exemption to the vaccine mandate. The federal judge ended up granting the injunction, saying the Department of Health is not allowed to take any action against employees who filed for a religious exemption. Now, in some cases, the mandates have exacerbated staffing issues.
I want to take a quick peek at the weather right now after an absolutely gorgeous day. Things cooling down just a little bit tonight.
Yes, that's for tonight, but we hear from Cap that we may get another nice day tomorrow, Cap.
Yeah, we may have in, Tim.
Oh, Cap, we didn't want to hear that. We just want the warmth. All right, you know, when she first stepped in to take over as governor of New York, not many people were even sure who Kathy Hochul was or whether they'd vote for her.
Well, now that they know her name, a new poll shows that she has an edge over other Democrats.
And this was supposed to be the last year in Washington Park for the holiday lights in Albany, but now comes word of more trouble than finding a new home in the future, what they need to light up the park one last time.
And
tonight, a new poll from Marist College shows Governor Kathy Hochul with an edge over any potential Democratic challengers in next year's Democratic primary governor's race.
The results showing that her time as governor is approved by most New Yorkers.
Now, in a race between Hochul, Attorney General Letitia James, and New York City Public Advocate Jumaane Williams, 44% would vote for Hochul. If former Governor Cuomo ran again, well, Hochul still holds an advantage, with Cuomo only getting about 19% of the votes.
When approval ratings are considered, 49% of those polled approve of the job that she's done so far, 31% disapprove, and 20% are still unsure.
Well, this was supposed to be the last year for Albany's holiday lights in Washington Park before moving to a new location. But now the annual lights in the park put on by Albany Police, the Athletic League, is at risk of being canceled altogether. Organizer Len Ricchetti is asking for anyone now who is able to come and help them out.
You have to be able to earn a $100 bonus.
So there you go. To find out how you can volunteer, you can visit our website, the website for the Capitol Lights in the park.
Well, sorry. And the views, I bet, are just spectacular.
I'm sure, but I'd want wings and wheels and a soft landing, maybe water.
To be with an expert.
All the above. All right, Cap, would you get on one of those things?
Man, we're meant to fly, we'd have wings.
You're right.
I feel safer on the ground.
On the ground.
On the ground. I love watching them, but I don't want to be up there. 61 in Albany, Glens Falls 51. It's in the 50s tonight. Some of the outlying areas will drop into the upper 40s. Quiet weather. You know, really the entire weather pattern hasn't changed basically in 24 hours. You know, this is almost exactly what we showed you last night at this time. High pressure very close to us. I think yesterday it was near Springfield, Massachusetts. High pressure's near Worcester, Massachusetts, about 30 miles away. Hasn't moved much, but beautiful night. Cold front to the west. It's still west of Buffalo. There are a couple of scattered showers showing up along this front, but nothing like last night. The front is significantly weaker. Let me tell you something. You know, as beautiful as it is here, there is a major storm not too far from Denver. Very heavy snow, central and northern Rockies. And look at this line of intense thunderstorms. Kansas down into northern portions of Texas. Speaking of the Rockies and getting snow, my weather watcher, longtime friend, he's a weather buff, Alan Perica, happens to be vacationing at the Grand Canyon. He sent me a text today. Steve, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. Well, there's Alan in the snow at the Grand Canyon. Beautiful picture, though, right? 7,000 foot level, about 3 inches of snow today. He's all pumped up. He loves snow. He's a snow. Tricia?
All right, thanks so much, Cap. There's been a lot of talk about raising the national debt ceiling.
A vote was finally taken tonight, but that did not stop the bickering between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill. We'll tell you why this fight is far from over.
And why waiting done 80 times in the past.
Well, you may want to start your holiday shopping right now, because if you don't, supply chain shortages could leave you with almost nothing under the Christmas tree this year. Due to low employment and global supply chain issues, microchips are becoming a rare commodity these days. That's a problem because those chips are used in popular holiday gift items like computers